Hello, I'm Dr. Darlik Selvi. I would like to give a small intro on the statistical analysis. This is applicable only for the beginners. So let me start with the meaning of data analysis. So analysis of data is a process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, suggesting conclusions and supporting decision making. In a nutshell, it is a process of obtaining raw data into information useful for decision making by users. So, what are all the types of data? So, types of data includes quantitative, so that can be obtained by experimental and surveys. Then again, qualitative data. So, this includes just attitude and perceptions of the users. Then we have mixed methods also. In the single questionnaire, we can have quantitative and qualitative measures. So basically, we need these types of data for analysis. So here comes an example for attribute. See variable, how it is measured. So variable age is measured by numbers. See, this is yet another variable, gender or sex. See, it can be categorized as male and female. So the next example is satisfaction. So this has been subdivided into very satisfied, satisfied, somewhat satisfied, not satisfied and not satisfied at all. So this is an example for qualitative analysis wherein we are measuring the satisfaction of the respondents with the help of some scales. So the other variable that we need in our mind is independent variable and dependent variable. So this is the basic thing to be understood by every researcher. Independent variable, it has presumed effect on the dependent variable. It may or may not be manipulated. Whereas dependent variable, as the literal meaning shows, that something that varies with the change in the independent variable. So this is fully dependent on the outcome variable. So this is an example for dependent variable and independent variable. Exercise participation, this is the dependent variable which is dependent on the independent variables of health status, attitude, social support and intervention. So for every research or for every study, this need to be identified and defined separately. So this is an example for dichotomous questions. While framing questions, we need to come across with various types of questions. So this is a simple one, dichotomous question, wherein the answers are being restricted with yes or no. See here, do you believe that the death penalty is ever justified? Yes or no. Please enter your gender, male and female. Only two aspects are available under dichotomous types of questions. See, the other one is questions based on level of measurement. So here we are measuring the levels with the help of this questionnaire. This is otherwise known as nominal questions. Occupational class, truck driver, lawyer, etc. In the same way, qualification can also be studied under this type of question. So next one is ordinal question. So we might ask respondents to rank, order their preferences for various categories. So here rank the candidates in order or preference from best to worst. So 4 names are given. So the people can order the items as per their preference. See the next one. This is what is known as Likert response questions. So here we are arranging or we are giving numbers. See, poor, fair, good, very good and excellent. This is 5-point scale. So this can be subdivided into 2 types. This can be gathered in 2 types of questions. One is slider scale, wherein only numbers are available and not words. The other one is the items are given, so the respondent can choose the best one according to their preference as well as opinion. So this is it again. The another one is semantic differential scale. So here an object is assessed by the respondent on a set of bipolar adjective pairs. So here it is of 2 types. we have captions as well as column headings. Interesting, simple, uncaring, useful. Very much somewhat like that. Interesting. On the other side, the opposite is boring. Simple, complex, uncaring, caring, useful, and useless. So this has been measured with the help of 5-point scale. This can also be extended to 7-point scale or 10-point scale also. See here, cumulative or Goodman's scale here. Here the respondent checks each item with which they agree. The items themselves are constructed so that they are cumulative. See the example here. Please check each statement that you agree with. Are you willing to permit immigrants to live in your country? Are you willing to permit immigrants to live in your community? Are you willing to permit migrants to live in your neighborhood? Would you be willing to have an immigrant live next door to you? Would you let your child marry an immigrant? So after this is what is known as cumulative or Goodman scale. See the other one is filter or contingency questions. Sometimes you have to ask the respondent one question in order to determine if they are qualified or experienced enough to answer a subsequent one. So have you ever smoked? If it is yes, it can be proceeded. If it is no, the question can end there itself. So if yes, how many times have you smoked? Once, 2 to 4 times, 6 to 4 times, like that it can be extended. So this is also again an opinion survey. So this is another type of question, open-ended and closed questions. See, under closed questions, check boxes are given to restrict your answer. So why don't you eat ice cream? See, I don't like flavors, it's too expensive, like that. The answers are being closed. The other one is open-end questions. Why don't you eat ice cream? See, it is the statement is given. So this is what is known as open-ended question. Under closed-ended questions, the answers are being restricted. Under open-ended questions, the respondent is free to express their opinion openly. So this is another example, multiple choice question. So here too, what ice cream flavors do you like the most from the list? So they can choose more than one. So this is single answer, another one is multi answers. Both are being available under multiple choice questions. So this is yet another variable that we need to imbibe in our minds regarding the types of scales. So first one, nominal scale. There are 4 types of scales available in statistics. First one is nominal, wherein objects or people are categorized according to some criteria, gender, job category. It is nominal. Another one is ordinal scale, under which categories which are ranked according to characteristics. For example, income can be classified into low income group, moderate income group, and high income group. Another one is interval. This contains equal distance between units of measure, but no zero. Calendar years, temperature, these are all come under this interval scale. Another one is ratio scale, as an absolute zero and consistent intervals. Distance, weight, etc. will come under this head. So to put it in a nutshell, nominal attributes are only named. Then ordinal attributes can be ordered as per ranks. And then interval, distance is meaningful. Under ratio, it refers absolute zero. So these are all the 4 types of measurement. So now the question is how to create creation and description of a data set. So how to create a frequency distribution? So frequency distribution is nothing but an array, is an arrangement of data from smallest to highest. Then absolute simple frequency distribution. This displays number of items, number of times a value occurs. All levels of measurement will come under this head. Cumulative frequency distribution means adds the cases together so that it last number in distribution is the total number of the cases observed. That means the subsequent numbers are being added. And again, percentage distribution. We are converting the frequencies into percentages, and then cumulative percentages. Under that also the subsequent items are being added together. So this is the way in which The collected data will be tabulated. And then comes the simple analysis, categories of analysis. First one, univariate analysis. The term uni means single or one. So here, examination of the distribution of value categories, whether it be nominal or ordinal, or values, interval or ratio. So all can be applicable under this univariate analysis. And then comes bivariate analysis. This examines the relationship between two variables, x and y. So the common example available for this bivariate analysis are simple correlation and simple regression. And then comes multivariate analysis. So more than two variables are coming under this head. So many items are available under this multivariate analysis. We have n number of items to be analyzed under this category. So in general, the variables are coming under the head univariate only one, bivariate two, multi more than two. So what are the purpose of analysis? The purpose of analysis will be subdivided into two major heads known as descriptive analysis and inferential analysis. Under descriptive analysis, summaries of population studied with the help of parameters. So the major parameters are mean and standard deviation, and then this is the preliminary case which helps to go for further analysis. And then comes in inferential statistics or inferential analysis. This is used with sample from total population and how well can results be generalized to total population. So taking descriptive statistics as the base one, we can go for inferential. That means we are inferring the results from the primary data. And again comes parametric versus non-parametric. So what do you mean by parametric test? It requires only one variable, usually dependent variable, is at the interval or ratio interval of measurement. So this dependent variable is normally distributed in the population. Independent samples should have equal or near equal variances. Cases selected independently, random selection or random assignment. So these are all the prerequisites for a parametric testing. And again go for non-parametric test. So this is normally identified as distribution free test. It does not assume anything about the underlying distribution. For example, that the data comes from a normal distribution. It has no assumption at all. It usually means that you know that the population data does not have a normal distribution. So non-parametric test involve nominal or ordinal level of scales for analysis. So this gives you a small distinction between the parametric and non-parametric test. See the distribution for parametric, it is normal. Non-parametric, any can be accepted. Assumed variance, homogeneous. So under non-parametric, we can consider both homogeneous as well as heterogeneous variables. With regards to types of data, under parametric, ratio or interval is accepted, and non-parametric, ordinal or nominal is accepted. With regards to the data set relationships, independent for parametric, for non-parametric, both independent as well as dependent are being accepted. Then measures of central tendency, mean is applicable as a parameter for parametric test, and for non-parametric test generally median. Then for correlation test, for parametric, Pearson correlation is a Pearson type of correlation is applied, whereas for non-parametric, Spearman. So for ranks we use Spearman type of non-parametric test. And then independent measures, two groups. Independent t-test, here it comes Mann-Whitney test for two groups of variables. And then independent measures for more than two groups. So under parametric, one-way independent measures of ANOVA. Here non-parametric Kruskal Wallis test, wherein we can have more than two variables. Then repeated measures for two conditions, matched pair t-test, or we can say it is sign test. So here under non-parametric test, we can use Wilcoxon test. Then repeated measures, more than two conditions, one-way repeated measures of ANOVA. Here it is Friedman test. So like that, the test varies according to the nature of the variables that we are having in our hands. So these are all the stages of statistics. First we are collecting. So collection of data. Then the next step is organizing the data, classification, tabulation, etc. And then presentation of data, and then analysis, start place, then interpretation, make valid conclusion and take correct decision. So this is the process or stages of basic statistics. So here this is a list of goals, why we are going and what are all the tests we can apply. So this is the flow chart. So wherein we can see which data, for which data we can apply which statistical measure. Thank you.